Hold on tight for the next hour. You're entering into a place, a zone called the alternative to the alternative media.
What the hell's going on out
here? It's a place, a special place where even truth seekers fear to tread.
All right, people, let's move like we got a purpose. Affirmative.
It's time for the Greg Anthony Show on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of all races, colors, and creeds, welcome back to the greatest show on earth, and I mean the greatest show on earth. Greg Anthony here. Why do we call it that? You know, it's because we cover the greatest show on earth in Washington, D.C., and Rome, and London, and everywhere in the world. 150 countries banding together to fight this invisible enemy. But we're here to give you the straight talk on it, you know? You're going to get everything here, folks. But why is it the greatest show? Why is it such a great show? You know, they've been putting this reality sitcom on for Americans for God knows how long, and I've been an extra. I haven't got one dime yet, not one penny. You can go to Hollywood and get $100 a day. And I've been playing this part for a long time. Harry, why do you say the greatest show on earth? Well, let me tell you the truth, Martha. It's because my psychiatrist told me to do it. It's for my self-esteem. But you know, the real reason I do it is that, you know, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth even gets its shoes on, said Mark Twain. So if I tell the people it's the greatest, they're going to believe it. Governments have been doing it for years. They've been doing it in so many things since I've been alive, you know. And, you know, I started this show on CRN 3 weeks ago during the COVID virus. Well, boy, I'll tell you something. Somebody, I don't even know what it is. I have not opened up the TV or anything. I live in a cave. So somebody please tell me why nobody's going to work. I got up this morning ready to go to work. I jumped in the car. I didn't see anybody in the street. I said, oh my God, what's going on? Is there a pandemic? Can't be. I mean, I just watched a movie on it called The Pandemic. Is there? And then I walked into where I work. Nobody was there. And my God, what a day it was. I coughed, got thrown in jail, and got on bond for coughing at work. You know, listen to this stuff that's going on, folks. You know, another day, another dollar, right? Oh, I don't know anymore about maybe another yen, another day, another yen. But you know something for sure. It's another day, another Friday night covert 19 pandemic party here on the Greg Anthony Show, CRN Radio. Yeah, you know, nobody's really gotten to know me here because all we've been talking about is this pandemic. I mean, I started talking about this thing. I do a daily show, and, you know, I need like 20 hours because I got so much material here that we could go on forever. I figured people, especially on Friday, need to laugh about this thing. You know, I recommend if you are told you got the COVID virus to listen to Mike Pence. On March 22nd, our esteemed vice president and head of the coronavirus task force said that 9 out of 10 Americans who think they have coronavirus really don't. Okay. So think about that. Then if you get tested and you got the coronavirus, get a second opinion. You know, if I'm going to go to a doctor and he says, I'm going to pull out your pancreas because you got cancer, I'm going to say, okay, go right ahead. I'll just lay down. No, you're going to go get a second opinion. These tests, folks, trust me. I've been doing some serious research on the Investigatore Giornale. I'm using an Italian word, because I lived there a long time. But anyway, these tests, I don't know how they can do it so quickly. And I'll give you a couple things on that. But I did want to I pulled out a quote just for you guys tonight. This was not on any of my shows, probably hasn't been reported anywhere. But Prince Phillip, now, you know, I never really liked the royal family. I don't know about you. People in power, our owners, our rulers, really, they have this little club. You're not in it. I'm not in it. And, I don't know if I'd really even want to join. Now, he's the Duke of Edinburgh. He's married to Queen Elizabeth. He was born on June 10th, 1921. And about 20 years ago, he said this. How prophetic. He said, if I could be reincarnated, I wish to return to Earth as a killer virus to lower human population. Huh, that's coming from the royal family. But they love the people of England. And the people in Washington love you so much, they're going to be giving you $1,200. Okay, and Ocasio-Cortez says, that's not enough money. We got to give everybody at least $20 million. We just print it anyway. What's the difference? Anyway, Prince Phillip, that's precious during this time. And, the guy's still alive. He's what, 99? How do these people live so long? But there's a lot coming out of the White House these days. And how can you miss it? I mean, Trump today got a second coronavirus test and he was told it was negative. And immediately he was heard saying, my God, no, I got it. I'm going to die. Somebody tapped him on the shoulder and said, sir, negative means you don't have it. Oh, okay. Well, let's get on with the task force meeting. Then there was another message. 150,000 to 200 Americans are going to die from the COVID virus. Oh, really? You know something? This is what got me upset because they issued an order before that said White House orders stay at home because mosquitoes kill 2,470 people every day. So somehow magically, before this COVID virus thing, nobody died. We went to work and there was not one death in the world. There are 7,500 people, this is their numbers, that die every day in the United States, right around 7,500. 150,000 die every day in the world, and more people die from mosquitoes. And the WHO also put out some statistics about people from animal diseases yearly die 700,000 deaths. I mean, it goes on and on and on, but all we hear are these death rates pouring in every day, 6,221. Now tell me how they could come up with that when just prior to the COVID virus. Now, you see, folks, I am a questioning person. I don't like, not questioning these people in Washington. They have a terrible track record, but everybody's laying down here. Nobody's questioning anything. The owners have got you by the you-know-what. And guess what? Just as I'm speaking, I got a letter, a real letter given to me. It's by the military, and it said they'll be airdropping toilet paper. Trump is coming to our rescue, folks, just like Obama did. And by the way, they both are on the same team, I think. It's just me. I don't like to take sides. Never did. Just like to watch, have fun with this. Friday night, I can't go to the Met. I can't go see an opera. I haven't seen an opera in 30 years. Really hasn't changed my life much. I never, I was talking to someone earlier today and I said, I'm very prophetic. I knew this was coming. I used to stay 20 feet away from people, before this happened. In fact, I don't really like being around them. I can take them for, little bits of time at a time, like maybe 3-4 minutes at a time. I can take these people. But, now that they tell me I can't be around them, I just want to go up and hug everybody. Call me a contrarian, but I try to think of funny things. Yep. They're not dropping the toilet paper here. I see it coming down. And I'm in Mexico. The military never gets it right. And don't drop the toilet this time. But anyway, the military is dropping toilet paper over Knoxville, Tennessee today, just to help you out. I heard there was a crisis there. But anyway, you got to be questioning this up. Is it too drastic of measures to shut down the world economy? because somebody's coughing. And their argument is, well, Greg, yes, more people die from snake bites every day, but viruses can spread. Well, they're telling me that everybody's got it. So if everybody has it, why can't we go out? But your owner has spoken. Yes, he told me today you can't go outside. Now I got a letter, well, an email. God, I'm back in the 80s or something, letters. But this guy, a friend of mine from Paris, yeah, I'm a worldly man, but he texted me and he said, they let us go out an hour every day. And he showed me some pictures of Paris. It was empty. And they let us go out an hour every day. We can go shopping and then we have to check back in. Well, how the hell are they going to know he was out for an hour? Well, this company, I heard this, they were talking about at one of their White House press conferences with Dr. Death Fauci there. We got the answer on that. He wanted to be a jockey, but no horse would let him on their backs. But anyway, they want to make GPSs so that they put them on your wrist or something. And then when you go outside, it's going to beep if you're 8 feet away from a person, But like I said, the other day I said, you know what? Why not have some fun with this? So I ran up to two people pretending they were my friends. And I said, oh, John, my long lost friend, I haven't seen you in 100 years. Give me a hug. Boy, he took off. And then he called the police. I got arrested, again, twice. But anyway, my brother lives in Simi Valley. For all you Californians locked away, have fun. My brother's a little different than me. He lives in a gated community, really ritzy place. He belongs to a country club. In fact, I hate golf. I don't know how people chase that little thing all around. And, well, anyway, look what's going on here. He goes to play golf with his wife. They play together. And anyway, he goes there and the country club is closed. Well, poor people cannot play golf. I'm so sorry for them. So he goes in there and now he sees people in him. He's got a key to get in the gate. Nobody's on the course. He's playing with the birds. And these neighborhood watch people are saying, you can't be out. You're going to spread the COVID virus. You got to go home. My brothers gave him the finger. Good for you. And they left. We're going to get your license plate number. You see these snitches? What we got going here? That's why I'm in Mexico. First week I did the show, I was in Tijuana. Then I moved up down the coast to Rosarito. Today I'm in Ensenada. And dogs are barking. Not as many people out. Here in Mexico, although there's only been 1,300 cases reported and 37 deaths they report, and each one got a second opinion, and all of them had I don't even want to get into it, but you got to question these tests. I mean, so quickly they can come up with them. And what I said, well, anyway, in the bar in Tijuana, here I am, bunch of people with masks, and they don't look like a surgical mask. However, I'm protecting myself. I got a sign. I've got the COVID virus. The thieves don't want to come near me. So I'm free. Don't worry about it. But anyway, no, Mexico's a little safer, a little bit safer. See how fast the time goes? They just told me in my ear I have 60 seconds. 60 seconds. What can I do with that? But anyway, come back. Greg Anthony here. Tragedy plus time equals what, folks? Comedy. Yeah. Has enough time passed? Sure. I'm marking the days. It's April what? It's like a prison cell here. Got 31 days. I don't know, 60 days. And when are they going to tell me to go outside and play? Martha, get me the toilet paper, will you? I'll be back in 30 seconds. No, I'll be back in 3 minutes on Investigate. No, Greg Anthony Show. You're on CRN.
The sound you just heard is the sound of a prison door slamming. But there's one group of concerned citizens and defense attorneys called Unite the People that has opened up countless prison doors. Unite the People was started by a dedicated prison reform advocate, Mitch McDowell, who was spurred on by a family tragedy and a brother sitting in prison for what could be a life sentence for, get this, an incident involving just words, no firearms, no nothing. You know, in California and all over the country, prison overcrowding gets so bad. Sometimes 50 inmates to one bathroom, the U.S. Supreme Court in 2011 ruled it unconstitutional. With no solution in sight due to mass incarceration and long sentences, Unite the People took action. And since then, many prisoners have found a quicker path to early release through Unite the People's legal services, an affordable answer to an overcrowded public defender's office and high-priced attorneys. So if you don't want to hear the sound of that prison door slamming and have a loved one or a friend languishing in prison, contact Unite the People at unitethepeople.org or call 888-245-9393 for a free consultation. That's unitethepeople.org at 888-245-9393. And remember, everybody deserves a second chance.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
This is Dave Hull. To get your signed copy of Hullabaloo, The Life and Misadventures of LA radio legend Dave Hull, oh, that's me, call the Dave Hull Group at 760-320-4434, and within days your copy will be in your hands. 600 pages leather bound. That's 760-320-4434. Don't miss out. 760-320-4434. Call now.
Okay, Greg Anthony here on The Greg Anthony Show. Catch me here every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. on CRN. Number 3. Also, you can get me at greganthonysjournal.wordpress.com. And I do promise I have a serious article on there. Didn't make one sarcastic joke or anything. Serious article on there. So go read it, greganthonysjournal.wordpress.com. And that's regarding what we're going through now. And I think it's just a little extreme. So some people who, I get a lot of emails from all walks of life, and I get people who just love it, love you. And then there's people who hate me, and that goes with the territory. And, the idea behind what I'm saying here is basically we have to be questioning things. We can't let ourselves get rolled over into socialism. Socialism really sucks when you really talk about it. And on my show, I give credit to the people who behind the scenes have really created it, going way back to the Revolutionary War and doing things like that. And so people say, well, you're talking every day about the COVID virus and you're extreme. And I said, well, I think what they're doing is extreme. And the reason is, and I'll be serious for a moment, that, it just doesn't make sense. The death rates every day they're pouring in. Even Devin Nunes, who's he's a ranking member on the House Intel Committee, stated the other day, he just said, we may have more deaths from what we're doing than from actual COVID virus. And then I'm thinking, well, how do they know it really is this? I'm no medical expert, but I'd get a second opinion if somebody in my family was said they died from it or something. I'd want to know what they died from. And I don't hear any of that. I hear no coroner reports coming out, no names, no nothing. And that's suspicious. And all these deaths, I mean, there's more. There's flu going, for example. They say within days they got the testing. Within days, they know exactly how many people are dying from it. They know everything. And I said, well, if that's the case, then why did the same organization, the CDC, tell us that in October 2019 to February 2020, there were 12,000 to as many as 30,000 people dying from what was called influenza B? Okay. Well, there was no testing on that. We weren't told to stay home. We can't go out and play. They didn't close down everything. And they didn't give you, they don't even know. It was either 12 or 30,000, but they know exactly to the number how many died with COVID virus. So get a second opinion. And they didn't do tests, they didn't give you a test for influenza B. So what could this be? Could you have influenza B? Could you get sick from the flu? Of course. But you don't go home when you have a cough. You know, they're telling businesses in San Diego how to put their desks. I mean, you got to read the absurd things I got in the mail for my business. You know, it's incredible. You know, Big Brother telling me, okay, you can't let your secretary sit here because it's too close to here, and then you got to have rules up, and you can't let so many people in your office at the same. Oh, get away from me. You know, but 2 days before this, oh, everything was fine. Just live. But they say this is going to come back every year, they tell us. Oh my God. Well, let me give you a straight and narrow. I think this is the first salvo. It's just seeing how people react to control. And then once they go worse and worse, pretty soon we don't have a country. Pretty soon the guns are gone. Pretty soon anybody who has, goes out in public with a cough, you're going to have a vaccination certificate to travel. Airlines are going to, everything is going to change over time. I don't see it going any other way because this is too extreme for what the heck's going on, you know. But anyway, death rate's pouring in, and we're supposed to believe this stuff, you know. There's a girl in the United Kingdom, forget her name, she was 21 years old, and the Guardian covered this story, and they said she died from COVID virus. Well, her parents took umbrage with that and stated no, she died of a heart attack. She didn't die of that. And the coroner actually was asked, why'd you put down COVID virus? And she said, I was told by the doctor she coughed. So there you go. There's a second opinion. How many times has this happened? Have these people taken the Bill Clinton coroner's class? Did you ever look back at what some of his coroners in Mena, Arkansas were doing? There was one guy who was in 3 pieces in a duffel bag, and Clinton's coroner said it was suicide. How about Gary Webb, Mena, Arkansas journalist? He suicided himself. 2 bullet holes to the back of the head. Go figure. Back in 3 minutes on The Greg Anthony Show on CRN3.
The sound you just heard is the sound of a prison door slamming. But there's one group of concerned citizens and defense attorneys called Unite the People that has opened up countless prison doors. Unite the People was started by a dedicated prison reform advocate, Mitch McDowell, who was spurred on by a family tragedy and a brother sitting in prison for what could be a life sentence. Forget this, an incident involving just words, no firearms, no nothing. You know, in California and all over the country, prison overcrowding gets so bad. Sometimes 50 inmates to one bathroom. The U.S. Supreme Court in 2011 ruled it unconstitutional. With no solution in sight due to mass incarceration and long sentences, Unite the People took action. And since then, many prisoners have found a quicker path to early release through Unite the People's legal services. An affordable answer to an overcrowded public defender's office and high-priced attorneys. So if you don't want to hear the sound of that prison door slamming and have a loved one or a friend languishing in prison, contact Unite the People at unitethepeople.org or call 888-245-9393 for a free consultation. That's unitethepeople.org at 888-245-9393. And remember, everybody deserves a second chance.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. Call right now. 888-912-1332.
Hey folks, Greg Anthony here, and I'm a firm believer in looking outside the box when it comes to keeping myself healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's why I recommend you turn to a company called Tri-Vortex Technology. And lately, I tried a Tri-Vortex disc on my aching left shoulder, and guess what? Now I can report I'm sleeping better and just about pain-free. You know, the technology at Tri-Vortex is a revolutionary process in health and wellness, and way back in 1988, owner and inventor Brian David Anderson looked long and hard for an inexpensive way to get better hydration out of normal drinking water. And the rest, folks, is history, leading to one product after another for natural, fast pain relief, reduced negative effects from cell phones and smart meters, and cutting-edge benefits for skin and body care. And in these times of medical and economic uncertainty, that's why it's up to you to look for innovative ways to keep you and your family safe. And Tri-Vortex has figured out a way without ingesting dangerous fluids and pills to maintain and improve high levels of water hydration, maximizing your ability to retain the necessary vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. And if you believe in the old adage that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, you have to try the innovative health products at Tri-Vortex. That's TRIVORTEX.com, proud sponsor of the Greg Anthony Show. Okay, craziness in America, folks. Yes, right here. I'm going crazy. You know, you can get away with anything now, really. I chose radio because it's a really great medium. You can say anything and it goes in one ear, out the other. Hell, especially during these times of the COVID virus. The other day I was saying so many, I patented all these sneeze-proof things and everything. And I can say it, and I really am working on those things. But anyway, come back next week. I got a lot more because now I want to spend some time with a person I've known for a long time. And we're going to talk about the COVID virus, going to talk about some really great health and wellness products that he invented long before the big bad government has told us we're all going to die from or get sick from the COVID virus, which personally I think is a little bit extreme. But anyway, his name's Brian David Anderson, and he owns a company, and he created all these unusual products that really do work. I've tried one, and it really did help my shoulder, like I mentioned in the ad. It's Tri-Vortex Technology at trivortex.com. Now, I called on Brian over the years, not for his technology, but for his, well, every time I thought I knew everything or I'd covered everything, I call Brian and he gives me another point of view. He did it with the Kennedy assassination. He did it with a number of stories over the years, and it's been a while. But anyway, Brian, that's why I called on you. You got to tell me your thoughts on this craziness in America. We're all locked away at home, going out of our minds. So what's your take on it, buddy?
Oh, very good. This is so good to be back, Greg. It's been, I don't know how many years. And so, we got into it then, and we're going to get into it now. This is the very special Rockland Sock'em earthquake version of the investigative journal. 20 minutes ago, we just had a 5.0 earthquake here in the
No
Coachella
kidding.
Valley. So all these people
Wow.
got literally almost 600,000 people locked down, and then we have a 5.0 earthquake on top of it. So it was very interesting
wow.
watching the TV, and then the guy. Oh, we're all shaking together. The announcer starts, "We're having an earthquake. We're having an earthquake." So,
Hey, listen. Hey, Brian, listen, this is a big topic we're discussing, so don't worry. I will bring you back. So don't rush, because this is important, this show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess just take it right off the top is, here we are, both you and I are late 60s, going on 70 years old. And we could just, walk away from this. And I have a lot of my friends that they're already, resigned and that type of thing. And, why am I here? I think maybe you can maybe give your viewpoint also. But I have children in their mid-30s. And we had late 60 years of what would be considered mostly freedom. And I'm very concerned now that my daughters and then that whole generation, a little bit beyond them and behind them, they're never going to have what we had, Greg. And if we allow things to go as they are, that's
nobody questioning submissiveness. It's amazing.
It's really amazing of how it's kind of like rolled over. Type of thing, but there are still some others out there that are, they said that's what happened in the revolution, if it did, because we really don't know a lot of our history. But again, they're saying that there was a very small percentage of the people that actually revolted in the American Revolution, and it was very, but it still occurred, type of thing. So, where we go from here. But again, why I'm on the phone tonight with you is because I would really like to see that the generations behind us will have not only the freedoms that we had, but even more. And right now it's going in the reverse type of direction.
Right, and they're using this virus to lock down the whole world. I mean, it's an amazing story. How, in your estimation, are they getting away with it? And can't you see all the holes we can poke into their story?
Well, this is not something that's happened overnight. There is a great website that I do recommend everybody check out. His name is Andrew Kaufman, and he's actually not a website. He has a website also, but it's also YouTube. It's actually his YouTubes are staying up, believe it or not. But his name is Andrew Kaufman, and just type that in, MD.
Okay.
And he has some great videos. I just seen him within the last now 24 hours. Of 2 videos that he put up, and he has really kind of nailed it on the head. There's already a lot of things that I knew, but in the answer to that question, how did we get here? Well, the how seemed to have started even as early as 1850, and pushing the whole thing of the germ theory, the virus theory, and just totally disconnected from any type of reality. And yet it was hoisted and it was fostered and that type of thing. And we do have to also kind of thank the Civil War, and then when Napoleon marched from France into Russia, that was the beginnings then of surgeons. Surgeons took over, and drug companies took over the whole medical community. Before that, it was mostly homeopathy. And what they discovered sulfur drugs. So when a person had an injury on their leg, it used to be fatal. You have a deep gash on your foot, and you were basically considered dead because they didn't know really cleanliness and that type of thing. But then they could amputate, and they would then dump just a whole bunch of sulfate on a wound, and they could actually then have people living through amputations. This took the surgeon from the position of being way back in the totem pole all the way up to the top. So then sulfur drugs, which is, again, the beginning of the drug companies. So that's really how it really kind of got kicked off. And then you had the germ theory. And, again, remember, it's called theory. A germ theory has never been proven. And, in fact, it just it falls all apart when you really put any type of scrutiny to it whatsoever. So this has been building for quite a long time. And then another turning point was when Rockefeller got involved in the whole area of medicine and wanted to bring his statin-based and oil-based types of drugs into fruition. And they basically bought out most of the medical schools and then pushed the big pharma, and which is oil-based, and also surgery. So it has been building and building, and then you have the underlying current. All of that is you have your eugenics movement that started up, and they were wanting to do population control. And so you had this, it's almost like this perfect wave they put together. It's not a natural type of thing. And the crest of that wave seems to be, or one of the crests now seems to be hitting right now in our lifetime at 2020. And that they're trying to now really, aggressively bring this along. I don't know. I would like to have your opinion on this also.
Go ahead.
To me, this sort of like caught me surprise. I thought it would be some other type of event that they would really bring in all of the things. So all of their one world banking and one world government and everything else like that. And so this was kind of came in under the radar that they would actually use a virus type of thing. Maybe have an outbreak here and there, but this has been masterfully played. I'd like to have your opinion on that too.
Masterfully planned, and as usual, this has all been set up with the viruses that we can talk, so-called viruses we talk about since 1976. And we look at the H1N1, Ebola, all of this stuff, and it seems to always get gradually worse. And put it this way, I remember when Trump got elected. Now, most people disagree with my view on Trump and Obama, and they work on the same team. I'm not a player in either Republican or Democrat. It's, to me, called the Hegelian dialectic. And I'll explain that on another show.
Can we start a party like that, Greg, the Hegelians?
Yeah, we should, because that's exactly what they're doing.
We've got the first two members right here, the Hegelian
Yeah,
party.
and exactly what they do is they each take a side. For example, Trump takes the globalist MAGA side, and then we got the America First MAGA side. Then we got the globalists on the other side. They fight it out, and in the end, they get their synthesis of what they want. And to understand that, you got to go way back in history and look at how they've done it in the past. So we don't have the time, but put it this way, I remember, and I don't want to call myself prophetic, but when Trump got in, I said, there's going to be a war before his first term is over. And I said, don't buy this idea that the economy is going to get so great and everybody's happy, because they're going to bring it down. And it surprised me how quickly this happened, though. It really did. I didn't expect this. I have to be honest with you. I knew they would try something, but not so financially severe. This is going to cause a lot more people to die than from this so-called coronavirus. We got people that are I've seen people fighting, two brothers today, one guy with a mask, another without, fighting because one said, you went out without your mask and my mother's going to get sick. This is what's happening. And that's my take on it, Brian. I don't want to take up all your time.
No, I totally agree. And I have there's a person who was my first girlfriend way back at Bowie Junior High School in Irving, Texas, in the 7th grade, and now she's gone on to become an RN. And she posted a picture of the iron lung that they used in polio, and then she just put one word underneath there, vaccinate. And so I already had this information about the whole, polio thing, just like all of them are just absolutely fraud, a sham, that type of thing. And this one came right off of a government website. So I posted that as a response to her putting this up, and she unfriended me.
Right.
So
of course.
And that's where, again, what we're also... it's also brainwashing, but it's also cognitive dissonance. And for those persons who don't know what that's sort of a psychological term, which means that basically the facts get put forward to you, it totally counters everything what your belief system is. So the best way to do it, rather than having the paradigm shift and investigating, or at least investigating to have a paradigm shift to go further, the immediate response is, well, just ignore it. It
Exactly.
doesn't even exist. And that, if there's any one thing that will bring down America or somewhat of our society, is going to be that.
I agree with you. And just for an example, I didn't get a chance in the first half hour to bring this up, but I wanted to call to the attention of the people listening. There is a bunch of citizen journalists. That was a really interesting 13-minute video. And what they did, and this is what our media has turned out to be. For example, I believe Fox and CNN are on their last legs. They're losing, to my estimation, their last amount of credibility with this, what they're both doing. Now, what these kids did, and thank God there's some people out there, they checked out the mainstream news reporting at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, many people there testing everything. Then they went out there and found it was a ghost town. They did it with like 10 different hospitals. After the mainstream just said these were crowded, there was nobody there, nobody taking testing, nobody going in. One urgent care worker who owned the place said, "Get out of here, I don't want to talk to you." They talked to ambulance drivers who were supposedly busy. One guy said, I'd been sitting here all day and I only saw maybe one person with coronavirus. And then they said, "Well, what were the symptoms?" He says, "Well, I don't know. He had a cough." And then they showed ambulances lined up and the guys playing video games on their phone. So who are you going to believe? Now, here's the point. I believe these people, but what you just talked about, you can give people these facts and they will still believe what they see on Fox and CNN because it's big. It's there. They have to be telling the truth. They wouldn't lie to us about this, would they?
Well, and a real good example of that is there's this person by the name of Colleen Smith, and she purported herself as a doctor, and then she made this video saying that a bunch of the doctors were all sick, and that and what is it, Amherst Hospital in New York was being overrun and all this sort of stuff. And this story got picked up by the New York Times. Now, what's very interesting is then when it came to the tweets, it was all people who had worked for some sort of Democratic candidate that then retweeted everything, and it was all about ventilators and that type of thing. But totally bogus. Okay.
Right. Well, I called. No, I just want to add my nephew is a military doctor. Graduated #1 in his class at Bethesda. Okay, he's in the military. He's at the emergency room in Seattle. This is where he was posted, right, when this whole thing broke out. And I've kept in touch with him. And just the other day, he told me, "No, we don't have any." I said, "You see a lot of COVID cases?" "No." I said, "Are you busy?" "No, we're about 40 to 50% down in people that normally come in." "Have you been instructed?" "Not much." Then I called another doctor in Milwaukee, the same story. So, folks, I see the same pictures on the news when I watch it. They run the same loops. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Brian.
Well, yeah, that's where, again, now I have another thing. This is a good friend. Now, my wife is a veterinarian, so she's trained traditionally. And 4 days ago, we got back and forth. She believes in wearing a mask and that type of thing, which I think is just a bunch of garbage. And she said, "Well, in New York, there was a doctor came on and said they have, putting morgues into freighter, truck freights and that type of thing."
Hey, and Brian, let me cut you.
She was referring to this Colleen Smith. She had seen that. So tonight,
Brian, I got to cut you off. We're going to come back in 3 minutes, all right? I want to talk a little bit about Trivortex, and don't worry, we'll have you on another week.
All right. Well,
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
This is The Entertainment Answer. The new film Call of the Wild, based on Jack London's best-selling novel, is cheerworthy for the whole family. Why does actor Harrison Ford find this story so emotional?
One of the key emotional satisfactions of the story is that Buck, who has suffered, finds a new life in the wild. And we, having seen what he's been through, celebrate his new freedom.
Call of the Wild, rated PG. For This Entertainment Answer, I'm Matt Mungle.
Hey folks, Greg Anthony here, and I'm a firm believer in looking outside the box when it comes to keeping myself healthy, wealthy, and wise. And that's why I recommend you turn to a company called Tri-Vortex Technology. And lately, I tried a Tri-Vortex disc on my aching left shoulder, and guess what? Now I can report I'm sleeping better and just about pain-free. You know, the technology at Tri-Vortex is a revolutionary process in health and wellness, and way back in 1988, owner and inventor Brian David Anderson looked long and hard for an inexpensive way to get better hydration out of normal drinking water. And the rest, folks, is history, leading to one product after another for natural, fast pain relief, reduced negative effects from cell phones and smart meters, and cutting-edge benefits for skin and body care. And in these times of medical and economic uncertainty, that's why it's up to you to look for innovative ways to keep you and your family safe. And Tri-Vortex has figured out a way without ingesting dangerous fluids and pills to maintain and improve high levels of water hydration, maximizing your ability to retain the necessary vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. And if you believe in the old adage that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, you have to try the innovative health products at Tri-Vortex. That's TRIVORTEX.com, proud sponsor of the Greg Anthony Show. Okay, Greg Anthony here on the Greg Anthony Show on CRN3, our last segment with Brian David Anderson, owner of Tri-Vortex Technology. And before we talk to Brian for a few minutes about what he offers, and I tell you, I tried one of his products, and it really has helped my shoulder. I had an old football injury that's been bothering me, but really did. And I want to get to him, but I want to say what we were talking about, folks. This I've looked at the schedule on the station. This is a lot of mainstream stuff. And our show goes a little bit more extreme, but really is it extreme? It's only extreme because we don't get a chance to put these ideas even on the table. I'm not asking you to believe what we say. I'm not asking anybody to do that. I'm just asking you to ask the question, why don't you hear what we're talking about on more mainstream stations? And the reason is there's somebody behind the scenes doesn't want that message out, because he knows the American people are smart enough to start figuring it out if they hear it. That's the problem, Brian. And one comment about that, and then let's get to Tri-Vortex, because I know people, I'd like to know more about it myself.
What I was saying right before is that my wife's a veterinarian, so she's traditionally trained, and this Colleen Smith, she quoted her to me then 4 days ago. Oh, this doctor said this, and now it's come out. And I went back to her and I said, this Colleen Smith is not with the hospital. She's not a she's a doctor, but yet at the same time, she's not connected with anything. She's a crisis actor type of person. And I said, here, read this and watch this, and it's pretty much undeniable proof. And she wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, of course.
All right,
So-
Brian, let's save that and flip it over, maybe have you back in a couple weeks. But tell me about Tri-Vortex and what you offered people, because it's very, very interesting stuff. Go ahead.
Well, subtle energy type of products. I sent you the real basic first product that I ever produced. It's called the Tri-Vortex disc. It's 3 inches in diameter. And it's explained on the Tri-Vortex website, trivortex.com. There are 2 videos that are on the home page. The top one, I was on the local NBC station here. They did a half-hour program on me. And then at the bottom there is a video I've done about hydration. So that's a really good place to start and kind of explain, and then you go throughout the whole website because there's other products also. It's going to sound like science fiction, but there is a product where you can actually wear your vitamins and nutrients and can reduce what you're doing orally. And again, it's all thoroughly explained. And again, give me a call. The telephone number up there is on the website. I'm open all the time to answering any type of questions. But it's mostly subtle energy. We're not doing any type of drugs. No side effects. The only thing that what's going to happen is if you buy a Tri-Vortex product, somehow it's not going to work. But for most persons, it's going to work. I've now been doing this since 1998. It's hard to believe it's almost 22 years. And during that time, I can say that probably I've maybe refunded money maybe twice. And it was only because of family emergencies. So it's all about keeping balance, keeping hydration, and the molecules in our body have a certain type of organization and maximum, where you have that maximum organization. That's what you need to maintain. And when we go below
Brian.
that...
All right.
Yeah.
You know something? We're all out of time. I'm going to have you on again. Don't worry. But anyway,
sounds good.
folks, go to trivortex.com. That's trivortex.com. And come back next week at 7 p.m. on the Greg Anthony Show on CRN3.